Adam said, we're all friends. We've all worked together. And I think that when this process is over, we all still will be friends. I'm substituting this evening for Patsy Ticer, who's taking a nice vacation that's well-deserved after the session. Excuse me. Both Patsy and I got to know Libby Garvey as our districts went into Arlington County, and found her a very energetic, bright, and helpful person. She's barely in Arlington, as you may know. She's about 3 blocks from Ramparts, that Democratic stronghold. It so happens that she's in the southernmost part of Fairlington, that actually is closest to Alexandria, in fact near the heart of Alexandria, if you want to get around to it. It's the midsection of Alexandria. But in any case, I was very impressed by her. I think Patsy was very impressed by her. And because of that, we're supporting her, even though we're friends with the other candidates. I think we all feel that way. And I'm going to let Libby talk more about her background and what she really wants to do. Thank you.
Marian's a little taller than I am. Thank you so much, Marian. And I am honored to have the endorsement of Marian van Landingham and Patsy Ticer, who have been role models for me for years. I'm also very pleased to have the endorsement of people like Tom Raycroft, Ken Hill, Judy Lowe, Lois Walker, Sarah Stott, and Howard Jennings. Many of you here probably got to know me when I first ran for delegate in '05, but I first got to know Alexandria in 1976, when my husband and I returned from Peace Corps service and rented an apartment in Alexandria. We bought a townhouse in Fairlington a little later, but our girls went to preschool in Beverly Hills, and my husband and I actually helped build that old, lovely wooden playground that is still there today. I've been living an Arlington, Alexandria life for about 30 years now, and it's great. My career in politics has been like that of most women in politics. In 1995, I'd been lobbying as a PTA president for better resources for our schools, and not getting very far, when someone said, "You should run for school board." No one else would, so I did. I lost that first time. I'm persistent, and my community needed me, so I ran again, and this time I won. In my 14 years on the school board in Arlington, I've been chair 4 times. We've hired 2 excellent superintendents. We've rebuilt or remodeled pretty much all of our schools on time, on budget, and the most recent ones are LEED certified. Arlington Public Schools are now nationally recognized for excellence. As many of you know, 3 years ago, my wonderful husband dropped dead suddenly of a heart attack. He'd been an athlete his entire life. Luckily, my daughters and grandchildren were practically living with us, and that was a real blessing. My community of support includes people in Arlington, Alexandria, and Fairfax, and is also a blessing. We were carried with meals, babysitting, prayers, and more. And I'm actually glad to be able to be here tonight to say thank you to you all, because a lot of you reached out to me, and I really appreciate that. Then last May, I discovered I had breast cancer. I have finished my treatments, and I now sport this short, very curly hairstyle, which is a whole new experience, and actually it's kind of fun. I'm a survivor. And what keeps me going is my family and my community and public service. No work gives me more pleasure and more satisfaction in service to my community. And my sense of community is a large one. Over the past 14 years, I've not only worked for Arlington, I've also worked to get better support for K-12 education statewide. When Carrie Donnelly was chair, I worked with DPVA to strengthen the Democratic Party in the state. I helped Scott Surville build a precinct in Fairfax. I worked for 5 years across party lines and around the region to get an emergency radio station for this area. Now, this is not work a school board member usually does, but it was work that needed to be done for the people I care about, so I did it. Now, let's think about the 30th Senate District. Lots of borders. Alexandria, Arlington, Fairfax. Borders are about politics, but people are about community. I bet most of us have friends in all 3 districts. To represent this district well, you have to be about people and community, not borders and politics. Our community and our problems do not stop at our separate borders. We all breathe that same dirty air from the electric plant, formerly known as Marian. That humongous BRAC building on Seminary Road, which never should have been put there, is going to cause havoc for all of us. These are important problems that we share, that I want to work on in Richmond. We've got to be a bigger problem. We're in trouble. As a nation, as a state, we are digging ourselves into a hole. We're not investing like we need to in transportation, education, the environment, the health and welfare of our children and our citizens. We need to start investing in our future. And that's why I want to be a state senator. I have done all I can as a school board member. To build a better future for us all, I need to be in Richmond, and I know I can be effective because I have the experience and working style we need. We need to build the political will to make effective long-term planning on transportation, education, health, and the environment. Then, we need to communicate that planning effectively so people understand their taxes will be well spent. Then we need to begin investing and working that plan for our future to take us to where we want to be. This is not easy work. It requires building relationships over years, across party lines, and around the state. It requires parking your ego at the door, but never forgetting your core values. It requires maturity, intelligence, understanding, a sense of humor, a good dose of humility. I see the time and I'm almost done. A good sense of humility, all right? It takes a little bit of sense of time. Also, charm, as Adam mentioned, would be very good too. It is a tremendous challenge. But I know of no better way I can serve you, and I know of no one more able to take on this challenge for the 30th district. I've done this work for years.